Welcome back to the International Cricket Ground here at Sano. Cooler temperatures today than what we're used to, probably around 17, 18 degrees, bit of drizzle. So the artificial turf, they've been taken off the grass and games to be played on the artificial turf. And as you may well know, with a little bit of rain, a little bit of wetness, it makes it a lot quicker, skiddier as well. So looking at the two tables, let's look at Group A, Division 1. We have Sri Lanka and Pakistan embassies both at the top of the ladder, one game apiece and one win apiece. Sri Lanka winning over the Indian Embassy 11 and Pakistan being quite dominant in the end over an impressive Japan squad that just didn't deliver. The Japan 11 losing that match. So Sri Lanka, 2 points, top of the ladder alongside Pakistan, and Japan and India at the bottom of the table. Just the one game for all teams. This is game number 2 and what has become a must-win for the Japan 11 taking on the Indian Embassy 11. The winner of this match will still have the opportunity to make the final. The loser, however, well, that will be the end of their run in terms of trying to pick up the silverware here at the 2025 Embassy Cup. Celebration of cricket, really. It's not just about what's happening on field, off field. There are numerous tents offering food carts from foods from different nations. Think Britain, think fish and chips, think Pakistan. In fact, I had a Nepalese curry, but curries from the different nations, and the embassies each put out an 11, in fact a squad of I think 13, maybe 14 to participate in this tournament. There's also dance performances going on. Tomorrow would actually be a festival, not just for the cricket, but for the whole of Sano City. Unfortunately, that has to be cancelled because of the weather forecast. So we may not see too much more cricket after this match. I'm sure this one will go ahead. As I speak, there is no rain, but you may see it. The ground is looking pretty gloomy. Looks to be Wataru Miyauchi, who didn't play in the first game for Japan, losing in a chase of 66 runs to Pakistan. They didn't perform very well at all with the bat, must be said, and the team would be the first to admit that. Wataru Miyauchi didn't bat in that, but he's come out to open, and I'll just get the scorers to confirm. The playing 11 for both teams, of which I will go through. It looks to be Anchan or Abhishek Anand, who will open alongside Miyauchi. Miyauchi coming off that fine innings in Oman. For India, Vishal Patel. First ball of the innings. And Miyauchi looks to dominate early on, mistimes it, and they end up running through for a bye. Just the second ball of the innings. And goes straight, goes hard, and goes for 4 runs. Lovely shot. And just looking on your replay, lovely straight drive this, lofted over the bowler's head. And a nice start for Abhishek Anand. Patel probably just wanting to pull his length back a bit. No, he goes fuller and gets a low full toss, but just played out to cover. Makes an easy single. Brings Miyauchi onto strike. Miyauchi uses his feet just to stretch out. I wouldn't say come down the wicket, but he was just looking to get a good stride in and looking to hit over the cover region. There's no, with of course the first 3 overs of the power play, so there's no boundary rider on the offside at all. Sorry, we do have a long off coming around now. So the boundary riders, deep mid wicket, and just the long off, just the 2. An appeal, but long way down the wicket was Abhishek. Hard for the umpire to give that out, so correct decision made. End of the over. 7 runs coming from it. A better start for Japan than their previous game. They really did make a meal of chasing 66. But then again, you can't not give credit to the Pakistan bowling lineup and how they bowled, where they bowled. They were bowling good short of the length or Yorker length. Oh, Miyauchi's come down. Will this go the way? I think it will. 6 runs. Great shot. He certainly gave it loft. Probably, 50, 60%, and it just kept going for a moment. Long off coming around, who easily made the ground. Thought he was in with a shot, but in the end it finished up 5 metres over the boundary. Great start from Miyauchi. This time he's just guiding it loftily, but does no damage, falling well short of the cover fielders. Opting to start with the spin. Taylor. Just gets bigger stride in and plays it back to the bowler, looking perhaps just to play it for a simple single out to mid-wicket. There is a fielder who's been dropped back from mid-on to long-on, and that mid-wicket deep fielder has now come into the circle. And this one, noticeably pushed out wide of the batsman, asking the batsman to play onto the offside. Teerlang has been crunched. The seam bowler has just been punished over the covers. It's a good shot, but the pressure had built up with those 2 dot balls has just been released. Unchan just, plays a beautiful, controlled shot over the cover region. 4 runs. Oh, this time he draws the top edge, and it should be caught. Will be caught from the keeper, and he's thrilled about it. The seam bowler came back well there. He's just, we'll see on the replay. Well, we just see the end of it, sorry. But it was a rather shorter ball, and I think it just didn't get up as to where Abhishek expected it would. It would have just skidded on, perhaps. As I say, the weather we've had today, drizzle, that pitch is relatively wet. It's not soaking, but it's just making that ball hurry on and keep lower, sometimes skid, depending on the length of the ball, of course. So wicket, Abhishek has to return to the 10. He has 9 from his 7 balls. He hit 2 fours in his innings, which has got Japan off to, let's say, a lot more positive start than they did in the previous game. Of course, they were facing the seam and pace of Pakistan. Here we see spin. Miyauchi just slaps this onto the deep mid-wicket and it'll get through. That's ill fielding. Should have been 2, not 4. And the sorry signal, the hand gesture, comes up from the fielder. Let's see the replay here if our cameraman picks it up. Gets across well, but, just doesn't collect it. And we see another slight misfield, but it won't cost anything. And in fairness to the fielder, that was absolutely smacked. And just came off the knee. The ball travelled to the fielder so quickly. So Miyauchi is now joined by Sabarish Ravichandran, who just plays a lovely shot down to long off for a single. Had a quick chat to Sabo when I was going to watch the Anzacs on field 2 at the break. Of course, he's carrying an injury, so I wanted to see that. And yeah, a few stitches in his webbing. Miyauchi again slaps it in a great space. The result was 4 runs. Gets it over mid-on, who's inside the circle, and right on the circle. He just gets enough of it. I wouldn't say it was middled, but cleared the fielder by 2 or 3 metres. 4 runs the result. Punishes this one, back to the bowler and cools his partner through quickly. Good single. Can't be underrated, even with the 10 over format. You still need to rotate the strike. Big appeal goes up, and it wasn't a bad shout either from Patel. We won't probably get a replay up on that, but yeah, let's just say he and the keeper went up in unison. Probably not in line. Umpires in Japan. In fact, I should mention the 2. We've got Rob Newman and Adam Burrs in the hot spot today. Both very experienced. They'll be loving the conditions. They're usually out here in 30, 35 degree weather. 3 weeks of cricket in Japan this summer was cancelled because it was too hot and deemed unsafe, over 37 degrees. So even though it's a bit cooler, I'm sure Adam and Rob won't be too fussed. Just played off the back foot, played right back into the pitch. Back foot drive, but played almost below the batsman. So single taken. .31 currently all chance, and he didn't middle that at all, but it was well wide of the cover fielder, who's come round to almost mid-off region to pick up the ball, but they get through for 2. That's great running from Japan. Sabarish and Wataru, they've played a lot of cricket together for Japan, but that's a good 2. Yeah, sort of almost a signature shot of Miyauchi, just going onto the back foot and playing over the cover field, point. Picks up 2 runs. I don't think you'd pick it up on my microphone, but below us we have a couple of commentators explaining the game in Japanese to spectators that are watching. Comes down the wicket, big swing, gets inside an inside edge, and they'll get through for a single. Miyauchi sort of disappointed with himself that he didn't make better contact with the ball, but credit to the bowler. Probably saw him coming and has just darted that in around the leg region. So, Telang, Abi Telang. Oh, this is a wonderful shot. Good placement. This will be a good battle between fielder and ball. And ball wins it. Well placed. It's a really good shot from Sabarish. Just shows you the quality of this player. he would have been hugely disappointed not to have been fit and healthy for the remaining, I think, 2 games he may have missed in Oman. But yeah, as I say, split the webbing between his thumb and forefinger. Didn't bowl for Japan in the first game. Obviously, it would put a hefty pain on that region when you split the webbing. Not a nice injury to do at all. Wide signalled. Yeah, but somebody's real important piece of that Japan 11 with the bat and the ball. Such a good cricketer. And even though he plays straight to cover, he calls early, and Miyauchi is through like a bullet. So, safe run. Perhaps if it was collected better, there may have been an opportunity, but putting pressure on the field can also reveal mistakes. So, Japan going along nicely here. 42 for the loss of just the 1 wicket. 42 after 4 overs. So the 10-over format, the first 3 overs are the power play. So India 11 allowed to relax their players now, put more out into the outfield. This looks to be Sopan Sridhanka, I believe, to bowl. I'll confirm that. Smacked straight to point, but a run taken. Not fielded cleanly, but ball was hit with good intensity. Miyauchi is just having a look around the field. We have a deep square who's becoming forward. We have deep mid-wicket and a long on, a long off as well. This Miyauchi goes along to the cover region though, and they have a sweeper fielder out there on the boundary, who does the work. All 5 boundary riders are basically between deep square leg and your deep cover. So room for Miyauchi to go over the field, over point, behind point. But again, he punishes it out to deep cover. 2 runs taken, that's brilliant running. And that is Sabarish Ravichandran showing his 3rd skill, bat, bowling, and now running between the wicket. A good 2 picked up, and what probably should have only been 1. Could be a chance here. No, Gully will have to back heel. They'll probably just get the 1. No, he's taking a second as well. Japan picking up some really valuable 2s here. Field has probably been a little bit more cautious with the field conditions, been wet, slippery, greasy, I guess you'd say. Doesn't help around that area where you can see all reverse sweep and missed. The protection if Miyauchi plays that shot really are only Gully and a point. Next closest fielder is your deep cover, so you can understand I'm looking for that shot. Full toss, goes square, and 4 runs. Bowler throws up his arms in disgust, but could the fielder have done better? Well, let you make that decision. Perhaps he could have got off his feet, which means putting in the dive, and perhaps, he would have got hands to the ball rather than keeping on his feet upright. It's this decision you have to make as a fielder, whether you need to leave your feet or not. So perhaps lack of effort is what the bowler wasn't happy with. Japan continue. 53 for 1 now of 5 overs, 11 runs coming from that over. If we start at the beginning, over 1 went for 7 runs, over 2, 11, over 3, 12, over 4, 12, and over 5, 11. So going along nicely here. They're looking for that three-figure sum of 100 plus. And in the 10-over game, oh yeah, he's just skidded on that one. Sabo probably setting up to perhaps cut that ball, but it just skidded on. Played, cut for 4 runs. The protection out there on the boundary is only your deep cover, who's now coming a bit more square after seeing such a shot. Nice. Almost deep point. There is a long off as well. And no one straight though. Sabo's almost going to take out. No, easily cleared. Alan Kerr. Is that Alan down there? Looks like him. But I thought for a moment the electronic scoreboard could be in danger. Great shot from Sabo. 4 runs. And much appreciated by the crowd, the audience. A great shot again. 4 runs. Wonderful cricket. So the previous ball, 6, and followed up with a 4. And of course, his first, in fact, if we just look through this over, .464. Wonderful display of batsmanship here. Sabarish Ravichandran, stand and deliver. Yeah, smart bowling. Just tries to skid it in, keep it low. Not allow it. Miyauchi back on strike. Just taking comes down the wicket, hits over the square leg for 6 runs. It's a beautiful shot. Using his feet, just came down a couple of steps and then just rebalanced himself and didn't look to overhit it. It was a wonderful shot. The replay makes movement and then he's just whipped that over deep square leg. Out towards a have-a-go tent, you'd call it, a big pump-up tent with some cricket wickets set up so kids can come and have a bowl. Not just kids, adults as well. It's an initiative. Anything the JCA can do to progress the game of cricket, make people more aware of it. This Embassy Cup, as I say, it is about the silverware, but there's a lot more behind the tournament, making connections and connecting people socially, the communities that live here in Japan, but maybe from these such countries playing, Nepal, Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, Japan, of course, the Anzacs, can't forget the Anzacs, and the British Embassy. Goes hard for 4 runs, just smacked through the cover region. Fielder just had to watch that pass him like a tracer bullet. Wasn't that far wide of him, but by the time he'd looked up, it was firing past the boundary. Sabarish, can he keep going on this display of power hitting? Let's one go. The previous over, Sabo went 4-6-4-1, and then started this over with the boundary 4. Another dot, but this partnership here goes short, bangs it in, does the bowler, and gets a bit high on the bat. They come back for a second. Again, Japan are just picking up these twos that perhaps shouldn't be there. Coach perhaps has pinpointed that's one of their strengths. I'm sure they're well aware of that. In Oman, one of their strengths has been a fit team and also being quick between the wicket, agile, athletic, fast. Looks to scoop it, connects. Be a battle between the good fielding, gets around and stops the boundary. Mandeep Singh, I believe that was, gets around nicely. As I say, greasy conditions. So he had to get off his feet to save the boundary, but did so well. Again, looks to scoop to Sabarish. Huge appeal. And, yeah, looking to be missing off stump for me. I must say I'm not directly in line. You're getting a better angle off your TV sets, but I'm almost over fine legs. Fine legs shoulder is where I'm positioned. I look to be missing off stump. Sabarish, will he pull out a scoop again? No, just stands, cranks it, doesn't get all of it, but the line of his shot was perfectly dissecting two fielders, so lands safely. And again, another two picked up. These two have picked up 8 twos together, which is quite impressive. We've also had a splattering of boundaries, but 84 for 1, 7 overs, so 3 overs remain. You'll see on the electronic scoreboard, but it may not. We don't have it down the below part of your camera, sorry. Spanked towards the scoreboard. This will have Alan Kerr have to stand up, get out of the way of that. That was just hammered by Miyauchi. And what a partnership this has been. I believe that's a 70-run partnership now between these two. And this time he's just cut. Bit of a misfield, and it will make its way to the boundary. Another boundary to the team Japan. This is a completely different innings than we saw in the first game from Japan. The first innings was one of disorder and chaos. This one has just been all about control. Boundaries, but in between the boundaries, lots of singles, lots of twos. Goes for a slower ball. Miyauchi picks it, but he's picked out the fielder in doing so. He did wait, but definitely not out of the middle of the bat. A strong area from Miyauchi. He'd love it there usually, but just got the bottom end of the bat. And in the end, it was well held out in the outfield, coming forward. Just going on to his knees to control the catch, but much needed wicket for the India 11. This is, of course, George took the wicket, Jijo George. Another experienced cricketer in here in Japan. Jijo George, I want to say he's probably played over 120, 130 matches here in Japan domestically. Pushed out. Think about a second, but they won't take the second. So, yeah, Gijo George taking the wicket of Miyauchi. He was out, caught 21 balls for his 47 runs, 47, including 5 fours, 2 sixes. Slower ball again, and it may work, although no, hard luck. The slower ball, full toss, but as he goes to punish it, Sabo, he just gets again on the higher end of the bat, but it falls safely. The outfielder's unable to come in and collect that. So in a way, he's happy not to get more of it on the bat. Sabarish Ravichandran, 33 off his 17. A rare play and miss from Sabo. End of the over, 8 done, 95 for 2 on the board, 95. So, the India Embassy 11, well, they, after seeing what happened in the first game, they'd be hoping that they would have ripped through, or, you know, knowing Japan batsmen are low on confidence. But Japan have come back well here. Patel's had his 2, as is Telang. Perhaps Yash Wise had only 1 over. Viviv Kular has 1 over. Gijo George has 1 over. But Sopan, Sridhanka, I'll just wait to see the number of the player. Comes in. And low full toss again. These low full tosses are working out for the India Embassy 11. Of course, the new batsman is Kazumasa Hiratsuka, the local Japanese kid, came through the cricketing system here in Sano from an elementary school level probably, or junior high school level. Brother as well. Both really good cricketers. Sabo crunches this through the gap. Wonderful shot. This time he benefits, and it's a no ball too. Just looking at the umpire's signal here, we have a no ball, and you couldn't have a better person on strike than Sabarish. He's in some hot form this innings, 35 of 19. In fact, it's 39. Here he goes, the no ball strike, and it's well bowled. Yeah, credit to the bowler. Kalau, he's Bhuviv Kalau, he just, yeah, full paced ball, Yorker length, just outside of off. Even if Sabo had got that, it's probably just ending up a single. It's well bowled. Good battle. This time, Sabo plays him out to deep cover. They have a deep cover and long off. And also what you'd probably call a sweep field on the boundary. It is a shortened part of the field. But it's not stopping Sabo, but he's going to be dropped, put down. Again, Sabarish Ravichandran looking for that short boundary, going over top. Doesn't get all of it. Bowler did enough to draw the edge of the bat, but it was dropped by the sweeper fielder who's on the boundary. Had to come in 10 metres or so, just spilled it. Oh, shot. No one stopping that. That's cranked into the scoreboard. Great shot. And although Alan Kerr's fielding it, he's probably also checking the health of the scoreboard. Let's just see if we can pick this up on the replay. Sabarish shot. Just almost pitched at the bottom of it, which was a good thing. On strike again. Well bowled, node wide. Yeah, that's the umpire's line. The bowler may look back all he want, but I believe it's Adam out there. It's his line. Really good umpiring standard we have in Japan cricket, led by the umpires we've seen today, Adam and KB. And on the other field, or back live. Will this be caught? Long off, coming in, dropped, and that is surprising in front of Todd Luckhurst and Alan Kerr. I'm sure they would have thought that would have been taken. Just probably gives you an idea how gloomy, wet it is here. The sky is completely grey, overcast. There is drizzle out there. I'm sitting here in my relatively warm commentary box, but the ball is wet. But it comes back down to technique as well. Get your whole body behind it if it is a wet ball. On that occasion, another drop. These little fielding errors are costing India. They are now to chasing 112 for victory with 6 balls remaining. Punishes it for 6 runs. For a moment, Long On was coming round and he had a last gasp at it, but in reality, I think it was well without reach. But the crunch of the shot, the sound of the bat, I knew that was 6 from the moment it left his bat, and I think so did Sabo. This time, plays along the ground out to deep cover, who's in well off the boundary quickly. That's good fielding, restricting it just to the 1. They realise the more they can keep Sabarish Ravichandran off strike, the better. His 50 runs are up, 54 coming off 26 balls. His partner here, Kazumasa, has just faced 3, and he's got 3 runs from it. 3 from 4 balls now, but doing the right thing. Looking to just go for maximums in these final 5 deliveries before that, but 118 on the board. It's a good score, 118 for 2. Makes contact and will just jog through for the second. I don't believe Kazumasa is looking for a second at all, and that's good decision making when you have your partner such as Sabarish. Sabo's innings so far, 54 off 26 balls, 5 4s, 3 6s. He's going at 207 strike rate. And it's a wide delivery, but it's a good delivery from, well, I can't say a good delivery, can I, because it's wide, but he's taken all the pace out of that, and he's bowling almost what would have been a perfect line and length. He's got protection mostly on his offside. Close in the inner circle at point, gully, and backward point, but no one's going to stop that one. That's on to field 2. The highlights reel just continues here with Sabarish Ravichandran, now up to 60, and that brings up his 4th 6. What a punishing player. And, well, let's face it, the India Embassy 11 all know about Sabo's skills and quality. There's just not, they haven't been able to stop it. Good delivery, that one. Real perfect Yorker length, not allowing Sabarish Ravichandran to get under it. So Gijo George, he finishes his over and the innings. If we run through the scorecard, starting with the Japan batting team, who, in contrast to this morning's game, have just come at it hammer and tong. Wataru Miyauchi started off with his partner Abhishek Anand. Abhishek went earlier on, 9 runs from his 7 balls. He did hit 2 4s in that, but it was the partnership between Miyauchi, later joined by Sabarish Ravichandran, that really broke the back of India. Miyauchi's innings, 47 from 21 balls. That's at a strike rate of 224, and included 5 4s and 2 6s. And not out Sabarish Ravichandran, 61 runs, 28 balls, 5 4s, 4 6s, and his strike rate up over 200 as well, 218. Just to round out the innings was Kazumasa Hiratsuka. Well, his 4 came from 5 balls. He did a good job rotating the strike to Sabo, who was in hot form, and really will be those highlight reels will be about him and his mate Wataru. Looking at the bowlers for the India Embassy 11, Vishal Patel, no wicket for 17 off his 2 overs. Abhi Telang, 2 overs, 1 for 23. Sopan Shudhonka, no wicket for 11 off his 1 over. Washwa, 1 over, no wicket for 21, an expensive one, that one. Bhuvith Kular, 2 overs, no wicket for 26. And Jijo George, 2 overs, 1 for 27. So not much to celebrate really from any of the bowlers, although it really was, the innings was summed up by the batting prowess of Japan, in particular 2 batsmen, Wataru Miyauchi and Sabarish Ravichandran. I'll be back in around 3 minutes for a chase. Do India Embassy 11 have the batting power? Yes, they do. This contest is still on. India will come out in 3 minutes to chase down 128 for victory. Welcome back to the Sano International Cricket Ground, where we have the Embassy Cup, a celebration of cricket, a celebration of communities, the cricket communities that live here in Japan, and their embassy represented teams here. Today we have Japan taking on India. We're halfway through. Japan making a very good score, 127 for 2, reminding you that this is a 10-over format. So a lot to do, India. Do they have the batting power? Yes, they do. We're about to get underway. First ball from Kohei Kubota, and he's punished, but hasn't got all of it. Chance for the mid-off fielder, taken. Good catch. And, well, will that be the big difference between the two teams, the fielding? India Embassy 11 were a little disappointing and in the field, but they do have batting power, one of their big strengths. They've just taken one big key wicket, though, Japan. Oh, Panwa, having just faced the one ball, that was the first ball of the innings, if you're just tuning in. As you can see, pretty gloomy conditions, wet, but they're not going to come off now. Throughout the game, it's sort of been a very light drizzle, and with the weather forecast promising not much cricket tomorrow, the umpires are making the right decision and just continuing with this match. You'd think, yeah, it makes it really difficult for the batsman with the turf skidding through or giving extra pace, perhaps a different pace from when it leaves the hand to coming off the turf. Kubota goes short. It's picked up, but this will fall safely. Anand comes round to do the fielding. He's had to come all the way from mid-on to field it at fine leg. Big top edge. We have Vishal Patel and Kuldeep Best batting for India. Big chase on. They need to go hard. They've already lost the early wicket of Panwa. He was out caught first ball. It was a good catch. And again, Kubota, yeah, extracting good pace off the wicket. Wide given, though. But the length he's bowling just skids on at a really good pace. I'm sure to be hitting Alex Shadai Patmore's gloves pretty hard. Standing a good 10 metres back, maybe 12 from the stumps, and just clapping his gloves together for that delivery from Kohei. Kohei plays his cricket for the Wyverns Cricket Club in Japan. Lots of cricket clubs in Japan. The game continues to grow, so if you're watching this wanting to play the game somewhere, Kubota goes short, and it's been pulled, but not to where the batsman had intended. Caught at mid-on. Another good catch. Had to get off his feet. And I wonder, just wondering who that was. Was it Taniyama, was it? Yeah, it looks like everyone's going up to congratulate him. The wicket, of course, coming from Kohei Kubota. Started well for his team here, as he did in the previous game. It wasn't really the bowling and that let them down in that game. It was the batting. They are all out for, 50 runs? In contrast, this game, batting first, making 127 for 2, thanks to Miyauchi and Sabarish Ravichandran. A wonderful partnership between those two. Kubota, you can see, bowling back of a length, but the ball's not getting up around head height. It's just skidding through, perhaps. Good pace, making it tough for the batsman to play that ball on that length. And again, batsman almost moves and will be ruled a bye. Rob Newman and Adam Burrs out there umpiring. Rob just finishing his over, swapping over. So with the game, to keep it moving quickly, there are 4 rounds per day. Just to keep it moving quickly, the team will bowl 5 overs from one end and then 5 overs from the other end. We know this end is the mountain end, Mount Karasawa. Rob and Adam, both experienced umpires. Hopefully we'll be out later tonight at local izakaya for a few sherbets for their hard work. Sakurano Thomas bowling. It's a big edge. And we have Gully going back and taking it successfully. Another catch taken from Japan. Looks to be Abhishek Anand. I will confirm that. But another wicket falls and, well, it's 3 down. Kubota picking up 2 wickets in the first over. Big wickets too, that of Panwa and Patel. We know those two can bat. The huge number of runs they've made in domestic cricket here in Japan. Currently at the wicket we have Mandeep Singh. Mandeep, was the 3rd wicket to fall. Out caught, just facing his first 3 balls without run. Wide ball called here. So yeah, Kohei Kubota, his first over, 2 for 2. And Sakurana, well, he started well here too, 1 for 1. 4 balls remaining. And pulled nicely to fine leg. 4 runs, it's a good shot. Gets on top of the ball. And just guides it away. Ball flew away 2-3 bounces before it crossed the rope. Shorter ball and climbs up and gets the batsman, I believe it'll be a bye, perhaps took him on the shoulder somewhat. I just want to check. As I say, it was a good link from Sakurano Thomas, like Kubota. And earlier on in Pakistan 11, their seam bowlers were bowling a very hard ball to get away, short of length. Again, we see it. It's got the top of the bat, but he's done enough to get it straight. Valiant effort, and it will only be the 2 runs. 4. Sorry, did I see a 4 signal? No, well, I'll confirm that with the scorers. I think it pulled up short, but well directed from the batsman. Manoj pulled again. Fine leg, who's quite square actually, probably on a 45-degree angle, but on the boundary. Cleans the ball up. They used a fair bit of spin in their first game to Japan, but I think Sakurano Thomas, the captain, will probably go more to his seamers. So we may see. This is short, and it is carried for 6 runs, as signalled by Miyauchi. 6 runs. Good short ball directed from Sakurano Thomas, but the batsman, yeah, he was late onto it, but he got enough on it, and it just carried over the boundary, hence the pace of the ball. Well-needed 6 for the Indian Embassy 11. They move up to 18 for 3 off 2 overs. They're in chase of 128 for victory. So the current run rate is 9, but run rate required is 13. In fact, closer to 14. Back with Kohei Kubota from the mountain end. And this has gone straight up. Chance here for Sabarish Ravichandran. Under the ball, has to wait for a while. Taken. Good with the bat, good with the ball, and good with his hands. Sabarish Ravichandran, simple catch for him. had to wait a while, and it was coming out of a very greyish sky, so given the coloration of the ball, sometimes can be lost a little bit. Drizzle continues here at Sano. Temperature around 18 degrees. There's no wind, but a real dreary, gloomy day here at Sano. Bist has to leave. He made 4 runs off 4 balls. India now are 4 down, but it only takes 2 players, as we saw with Japan. A wonderful partnership between Miyauchi and Ravichandran. It only takes 2 players from the Indian embassy to do the impossible. Full short of mid-on. Bhuviv Kulau is the new batsman to the crease. Currently on strike is Kulau, facing Kohei Kubota. Probably faced each other many a time before in the domestic cricket league. 1 run taken. India Embassy 11 really in need of some big overs. Japan have started well with the ball and in the field, holding on to their catches. The first over just going for 3, second over 15. But now being pulled back, Kohei Kubota proving difficult to get away. Fielder, he's put it over the boundary, hard luck. And it looks to be Alex Shirai Patmore. Have they taken their gloves? No, can't be. Let's have a look. No, it's not Alex. Who is it? Number backpedaling. It's Taniyama Makoto. He'd be disappointed with that. He backtracked nicely. Not an easy catch to take when it's coming over your shoulder, but he would have backed himself. But having missed it, comes off the body and across the boundary for 4. Kubota, short of length. Batsman plays it straight back into the pitch for a single. Japan won't mind singles at all. They know the number of runs they've got to play with. The captain will be sitting quite happily giving away singles. It's the boundaries they'll want to protect. So far, we've only seen the 3 boundaries. This is final ball of the 3rd over. Here's our 4th boundary, and it's a maximum. Good shot. Gave himself a bit of room, opened up the offside, and played it late. Played it quite square. Kulau, he's made a good start here with that maximum. He's 6 runs from his 3 balls. Alongside Manoj. Manoj is 15 from 5. So could this be a partnership that India Embassy can bank on? Try and get them somewhere near or perhaps needing 30 off the last 3. It's a mammoth task. 14 runs needed per over, 7 overs remaining. Looks to be Anchan who'll be bowling. Set. Coming in, bowling his medium seamers. As I say, Japan used a lot of spin in game 1, and that's changed in this afternoon match. Realising perhaps the seamers, just on that good length, proves pretty difficult to get away. The drizzle, I wouldn't call it rain yet, but it seems to be drizzling harder, if that makes any sense. Sorry, and apologies, it's not Abhishek, it's Nikhil Pol, of course. Nikhil Pole, under 19 Japan representative, World Cup representative soon. Oh, chance. It would have been a sharp catch. I think it's Kazumasa Hiratsuka got off his feet, dove to his right. I believe got a mitt on it, but it just spilled. Nikhil Pole, real important part of that Japan under-19 team. Saw a brilliant innings earlier from Timothy Moore for the British Embassy on ground number 2. Sorry, to back here with Nikhil. Goes short, and that's what the captain wants him to sort of be bowling, short of length. Yeah, saw a 54 runs, I believe, Timothy got in that game. Another under-19 squad member. Played some lovely shots. Saw one big 6 over cow corner. Lost ball, sorry, JCA. I don't think you'll get that one back. Again, Nikhil Pole just bowling on that short of length. This time is down leg side for a wide. Japan really did put on a fine performance in their batting, the opening innings, 127 runs off 10 overs. This will travel for 6, and that's a wonderful shot. Well played. MS, Manoj, S, that's, I'm sure that's short for something. Manoj, S is all I have on my cricket app, but Manoj, well played. Made that look quite effortless. Just leaned into it and it probably landed 15 metres over the boundary rope. This time he'll cut. It's well fielded at that point. Unable to stop the single. Goes short and comes off the helmet. An appeal for a run out and given. Oh, great fielding. And absolutely no hesitation from the square leg umpire. I think that's Rob Newman down there. It was a direct hit. See the replay here. They go. There was a hesitation and that cost him an easy decision as we see Alex Shirai Patmore celebrate behind the stumps. Some impressive fielding. I'll bring that up, who that was. I was just wondering if that may have been Kazumasa Hiratsuka, but I'll confirm that. In the meantime, that was the end of the over. 4 overs gone now. 40 for 4. 40 for 4 are the India Embassy 11 in chase of 128 for victory. Earlier on today, Japan Embassy somewhat embarrassed from their performance against a well-drilled Pakistani Embassy 11, although the Pakistan Embassy 11 made 66, which was probably subpar. They would have been aiming for 80 or above, but boy, their bowlers made it look easy. They won by 16 runs in the end, bowling Japan out for 50. Japan have come back well in this game, putting a big score on the board, but also backing that up with some good catching, good fielding, and some bowling to tactics or bowling to the strategy. This is Safraz Pekta. And he may disappear. It's caught. Another good catch in the wet. And just as about to build Safraz up, I've seen him hit a ball a mile on ground number 2 it was. He can hit a long ball. And as I say, this India Embassy 11 has a very strong batting lineup. For Safraz coming in at, when did he come in at 4? Real shame the Indian Embassy 11 will miss his power hitting. It was a good catch taken. Catch was taken in the outfield from Kohei Kubota. So well held out there, as I say, really greasy, slippery ball. We're just seeing good things happening from Japan in the field. Earlier, the run out was Kazumasa, direct hit. We've seen catches taken from Ravichandran, from Abhishek Anand, from Taniyama took a good catch. I believe Ravichandran took 2, so yeah, they're just displaying those skills and talents we expect from the Japan almost national 11. 8 or 9 of these players on field have just returned from Oman. They took a squad to Oman of 14. What was a successful tour for Japan cricket. I'm sure they cemented their name globally in the form of cricket. An amazing win over Kuwait, wins over Samoa in both warm-up and competition games. Close loss to Qatar. But if we think about, and also a very good contest with Nepal. If we think of those teams, Nepal, Kuwait, Qatar, they're all ranked, 18 to 27 or so in the world, 20 places above Japan. So an amazing performance from the team. Slower ball, this one. Took all the pace out of it, but it's just been slapped out to deep mid-wicket for 1 run. End of the over. 5 gone now. 5 overs. We're halfway through the innings. India, well, they need someone to stand up and just hit a ton of boundaries. That's what they need from here on in. India 11, 45 for 6 after 5 overs, chasing 128 for victory. Makoto Taniyama into the attack from the school end. They've had their 5 overs, so the teams now swap ends for the remaining 5 overs. Number 23, Makoto Taniyama. I should mention it again. In fact, I asked him when I was in the tea room, Ross Taylor's wicket, and he must feel pretty good about that one. Ross Taylor, of course, playing for Samoa in the East Asia Pacific qualifier. Bowling a lot flatter and a lot quicker as Taniyama today. But yeah, he was very humble in his reasoning for taking. He said he had skidded through and took out, I think he said off stump. Bowled him. Makoto Taniyama. Ross Taylor bowled Makoto Taniyama. A wicket he'll remember forever, but very humble. I think the players all asked him after the game to go and get his photo with Ross, but I think he refused, saying no, he wouldn't want to do that, hence the character of the man. Bowling well here, his first couple of deliveries, keeping India from their objective of hitting boundaries. You can see that one just stay low though. That just hit a patch of wet, artificial turf. Really difficult conditions. Although in saying that, how did Miyauchi and Ravichandran put together that huge partnership on similar... he's lost his bat. Well, it's a rainy day, wet day when that happens. The bat has flown out to square leg, just short of the umpire. That would have been Rob out there, now swapping with Adam. So, this game, well, technically, mathematically, India are still in it, but you can just feel the air has been sucked out of their balloon of losing that top order, and just the wicket getting slowly worse. Skipper Sakurano's board on Morita. And again, he's not the tallest of bowlers, and it's just skidding through. This will just make it even more difficult for Vivek Kulau and Gijo George to try and knock off these runs. Boundaries really the only answer. He's done well. He's picked one up here. It's a good shot. Just rocks onto the back foot and uses the pace of Morita's, plays it behind square. Kulau, he's looked pretty good out there for his 15 runs. Batting over 100 strike rate, but what India need is something up round Miyauchi and Sabarisha's strike rate of 200. Both of them finished their innings with big scores, but both of them with strike rates over 200. Currently, Kulau is going at 125. Just guided to point for a quick single. As I say, Japan would be very happy with giving away singles. This big win and likelihood going towards Japan will certainly help with their net run rate should teams finish in equal points. Using again the pace and just using space, moving out onto the offside just to give him space to hit fine. He's done well. He just picked them off for an easy 4. In fact, there was 6 runs, short of boundary out there. The cameraman didn't quite pick it up, but it was 6 for Kulau. His innings continues, 22 now of 14 balls. Run rate required now, we're hovering around 20, so that'll give you some idea that these two batsmen, they just need to... Oh, that's a half tracker. Can't see, I'm sure, yeah, his skipper right now is just cleaning that ball, drying it as much as he can before the spin bowler, the leg spin bowler, Morita Masato. I think he plays for Max. He's gone onto the back foot. He's been trying to pull over deep square. It has been caught, so obviously the ball before, of course, no ball, bounced twice, didn't it, before the crease. So even though the catch was taken, the run is complete, no ball. They'll take the 1 run from it. End of the over. 7 overs done here, 62 for 6. The India Embassy 11 needs 66 runs from 3 overs. It is mathematically possible, 22 per over, but, well, Taniyama back into the action from the school end. This will have Japan feeling a lot better about themselves after the game this morning. Taniyama comes in, gets him, bowls, leg stump. A bit of a big heave there from, it was George on strike. Just a big heave, and the leg stump was taken out of the ground, and wow, India Embassy 11 now 7 down. This, the 8th over of 10. Run rate required now up to 24. It really is becoming an impossible mission for the India Embassy 11, and this will put them at the bottom of the table after the first day of games, which probably has seen them not being able to make the final tomorrow afternoon. Whether it goes ahead or not, we don't know. Taniyama, oh, the bat's gone again, and it's gone out towards square leg, and Rob will field that. No, it's been picked up by the batsman. Tomorrow games were set for the morning and afternoon. Japan to play Sri Lanka and India to play Pakistan, with the finals in the afternoon, but we probably won't get that looking at the weather forecast. Taniyama again, boy, it doesn't get higher than halfway up the stumps, that one. As I say, the drizzle just continues. It's been drizzling now for the last 3 hours. This morning was fine. There was cloud cover, but it wasn't wet. Yesterday, lovely day. This has been picked up. Long on, Sabarish Ravichandran coming round. He takes his 3rd catch for the match. Safe as houses. And 8 wickets down now for India. The final nails are being banged into the coffin. It's all over. Not only will Japan take the win, they'll take some very high net run rate points. Looking across to ground 2, Pakistan 11, well, they made 114 for 4 off their 10 overs. Currently, Sri Lanka Embassy are chasing. They're 74 for 3. 3 overs remain. But we may see at the end of the day Pakistan at the top of the table, Japan and Sri Lanka in second place, perhaps Japan ahead on net run rate, and India at the bottom of the table, which would mean if no cricket were to be played tomorrow, it would be the Pakistan Embassy 11 that would be holding the silverware in this edition, the Embassy Cup 2025. I'm sure Sri Lanka will continue to fight these last 3 overs, but here on ground 1, wow. Just reading the last rights, the Japan 11. Captain's given the ball again to the youngster, Morita. Realising fielded at point. Looks to be Taniyama, but 1 run taken. Masato Morita. Yeah, I believe he is playing Max for Max Cricket Club here in Japan. Makoto Taniyama used to be a member of the Max team before shifting to Sano perhaps 2 years ago. Finals coming up, I guess, in October for domestic cricket here in Japan. Japan Cup was recently won by the Chiba Sharks. Shout out to them. Oh, and again, this just says, and he's been given out LBW. A simple decision for the umpire, as the bat, well, it's a comedy of errors, really, isn't it? The batsman goes to play it. It is dead in front, but the bat also having to be picked up in a humiliating fashion from the batsman. Not only out, but going and having to pick your bat up from square leg before making your way off. It's been a sorry day for the India Embassy 11. Earlier losing to Sri Lanka. They'd made a good score, had the India Embassy 11, 123 for 9. Just a few shorter than what Japan have made here, but it was chased down wonderfully by the Sri Lankan 11. 124 for 4 and just 8.3 overs. New batsman would be Yashwa for India. He's along Sapan Sridhanka. Looks to be Yashwan on strike, and quick single taken. Again, Japan have been sharp in the field, even given these greasy, slippery conditions. They've held their catch as well. They've been in off the attacking the ball in the field. And they also ran, while they were batting, they ran beautifully between the wickets, did Sabo and Wataru. Slashed out to deep square. Fumble, but won't cost them anything. Just another run taken. They know it's beyond reach now to the India Embassy 11. Run rate required is 40. So unless you're bowling a lot of no balls, extras, the game is impossible for them to win. But they will try and finish with a bit of pride, these two batsmen. Try and show what the lower order should have done. Yashwa and Sopan Sridhanka. 1 for 17, the figures for Masato Morita. He's decided to come round the wicket. He's been played just down to long on for a single. And that's his over. 9 overs done here. Coming to an end in fading light, really. 4 o'clock local time. So Karano Thomas looks like he's going to have Miyauchi bowl the final over. And I have seen Mia bowl his seam up a few times before, both for the Wyverns, and I believe he, I think I might have seen in the Japan Premier League. Anyway, Miyauchi, ball in hand from the school end. Can he finish a memorable day after batting? He certainly can. He's got him. First delivery and he's off. And no one's stopping him. He's still going. He's circling. And, well, let's have a look at the replay. I think there might have been a bit of swing in this. No, he's just, top of off for Wataru Miyauchi. Just a top off a perfect day for him. Remembering he didn't play in game 1, so no fault cast on him as to the pitiful performance, or the subpar performance, I should say, perhaps. But earlier on in this innings, in the first innings, he made 47 runs off 21 balls, did Miyauchi. That included 5 fours, 2 sixes. And he's backed it up in the field, and now he's done it with the ball. The Japan Embassy victors over the India 11 by 58 runs. If I run through the scorecard as the players shake hands, I'll start with the Japan team, who started with a hiss and a roar after losing Abhishek Anand early for 9. It was the Wataru Miyauchi and Sabarish Ravichandran show. Those two putting on a brilliant partnership, getting the team up to 127 for 2 off their 10 overs. Not much to talk about for the India Embassy 11 bowling lineup. Telang was probably the best, 1 for 23. Patel, he was economically good. No wicket for 17 off his 2, but really it was all about the batsmanship of those 2 Japanese batsmen who got the team into half-time in a really good position. The chase, well, the chase came, and not much really from India. They lost wickets earlier on, with Panwa and Patel exiting with no score. Best early of 4, Singh went for no run. It was a partnership between Bhuvesh Kulal and Manoj S, who gave some hope for the India Embassy fans. Those two, Manoj putting on 22 off 9, Bhuvesh Kulal 24 off 18. Other than that, wasn't much to talk about. Pikta came and went early. Jijo George 2, Abhi Telang 1, Sopan 2, and Yashwa 2. So the bowling for Japan, Kohei Kubota, a standout, 3 for 13 from his 2 overs, doing the damage at the top of the innings as well. Sakurano Thomas chipped in with 1 for 14, as did Abhishek Anand, 1 for 3. 1 for 18, Masato Morita. Wataru Miyauchi, 1 for no run off 1 ball. What a day for him. Perhaps, it's hard to look past Sabarish Ravichandran, who didn't bowl but took 3 catches and scored, what did he score, 60-odd runs, Sabarish. So really good innings from some players in particular for Japan, but it was in the field and with the bat that Japan dominated this game. They will go to second in the table. Just before I leave, I will update you on the game between Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka chasing a score of 115 for victory, are currently 84 for 4. They need 31 runs with 8 balls remaining. Probably, who's to say? But Pakistan perhaps on top, and if Pakistan do take victory, they may take the silverware home. Unfortunately, tomorrow's weather forecast doesn't look great, so do tune in, do subscribe to Japan Cricketer all across all social media platforms, including X, Facebook, and Instagram. Otherwise, the YouTube channel. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's coverage. Do tune in tomorrow, although the weather gods don't look like they're keen to play. Thank you very much. Good afternoon.